Hello. Welcome to Red Division this evening. We've just mixed things up a bit. And well, we haven't mixed things up a bit. We have Broom Handle, who has previously commentated on this division, hopefully making the Blue Division race, so he shall be commentating over there. I'll post the link in the comments as soon as I can. This is the result from qualifying. Big Baguette just pipping Disco Stew to pole position. Disco Stew lines up alongside him. And then it's very close from Let's Get Fiscal in third, Alien Bayern and Mystic in fifth. And after that, it's very close with Trulson, Vachensky, Worry Cloud, Widelow Billy, Daymiles topping off the top 10. Then it's Reflection, Sir Hamrick, Luke 2 Red, Kyle, Lion Games, and Vantage, who had a quali ban for the session. Right, so we are on the formation lap. Let's get the telemetry up, and we would like to see what tyres everyone's starting on. The top 10 are all on the soft tyres. Sir Hamrick and Luke 2 Red starting on the hards, and Kyle starting on the mediums. So it's the Haas of Big Baguette up at the front. And I do have the standings here. Let me have a look. So, Fiscal is currently leading on 61 points. Alien Bayern in second on 57. And the pole sitter for today, Big Baguette, is third in the standings with 51 points. And he has raced only 3 races. He missed the season opener at Australia. So here we go. 16 cars lined up on the grid. 5 lights. And away we go. The Haas seems to get a pretty decent start. We've had a bit of a mess up on the leaderboard, but I'm pretty sure that is Kieran going alongside the Mercedes, and there's a little bit of a touch there. There is. someone out already. It's Ellie and Bayern. The Racing Point out of this race after only 3 turns, really. And we got a VSC as well to deal with. This is annoying. It's saying the guys of Damars and Carl are currently in first and second. That is not true. No, Big Baguette holds his lead from the start. And the gaps have formed here, really. No one was caught out there on the VSC. Seen a bit of movement at the back. Carl versus Lion. I think Carl is not in his car, actually. I don't think Mystic is either. I think we've got 2 cars that aren't actually racing here. And now Lion will look to get ahead of Carl, which he seems to do so, and he does. Big Baguette is in the lead. We are still having issues with the leaderboard at the moment. Disco Stu trying to hunt down Big Baguette right now. Let's get Fiscal just behind with Chulson, Worry Cloud, then Vichensky, who's just a bit further back from that group at the front, the top 5. And he's got Day Mars, Reflection, Sir Hamrick, Vantage, and Lion Games with him. So we've got 2 groups here. 6th down, and then top 5 are all separated. Couple separated by 1 second, and a few it's just a bit less. Central is getting very close to the back of the Ferrari of Let's Get Fiscal. I'm not too sure what the strategy. I've only done one proper race round here myself, and I can't seem to remember if you can just go soft hard or if it's better to do a 2-stop. If anyone knows who's watching what is the better strat, do let me know. This is interesting actually, these top 4, but it looks like Disco Stu is really starting to gain on Big Baguette now. We are on lap 3, so DRS is available to the cars within 1 second of the car ahead. We don't have intervals for the top 5, which is great. Oh, here they are now, coming through. That's more helpful. Trollson just dipped a tyre on the edge there. Fiscal went a bit deep. He's definitely gone a bit deep here. Fiscal's going to be under a bit of pressure here from Trollson. This is the closest battle on the track at the moment. The battle for that podium position. The Red Bull versus the Ferrari. A classic modern era battle of manufacturers. And here comes Troll now. He got a great exit off the banking last turn, and he's up the inside of Kieran, and he puts himself up into 3rd place, and he'll now look to gain on the leading 2. Let's Ooh. Oh, that's not what you want. A yawn. Right in the middle of the commentary. So let's look back. These two just in the top 10. It's Line Games versus Sir Hamrick. Sir Hamrick currently holding on to 9th position. We've had a few cars have pitted. Wido Billy pitted on lap 2. AMR Vantage. Oh, someone's gone off. Mystic has had an off. Oh, and he's retired. Mystic has retired from the race. So we've lost an Alfa Romeo out of this race. Now is Line Games going to be able to have a go at Sir Hamrick? He's gaining, but not enough. Oh, and there's an off just ahead. Oh! And that's Sir Hamrick out. Due to Day Miles being spun out. It is now a VSC. And that's a shame for the debutant of Sir Hamrick, who's now out of this race due to Day Miles being spun around. And we've lost 3 cars in 6 laps so far. We've had 2 that have crashed out and 1 self-retirement. VSC is still going strong. See if anyone's going to pick up a drive through and be caught out. Oh, Big Baguette, I think, had to brake. I think he went just a bit too early. And he's left himself vulnerable. Disco Stu's looking around the outside. And he's managed to get through. He had the better exit by going around the outside. And Disco Stu puts himself up into P1. That Mercedes getting past the Haas, and the VSC, I have to say, definitely played a hand in that one. Top 4 are still within a second of each other. Worry Cloud has dropped off slightly. He's within 2 seconds of Kieran at the moment, but he was closer. He was around the 1 second mark, so he has been losing a bit of time over the last few laps. Billy's back in the pits. Not sure as to why. Must be damage. Hadn't seen any yellow flags to suggest he'd been off anywhere. But we'll go back to the front because I believe Big Baguette is going to be able to have a go at getting P1 back from Stu. He's going up the inside, and I think he's got the move done. He has. He's ahead of Disco Stu, and Big Baguette to lead continues. But the problem with these two switching positions, that will drag Troll and Let's Get Fiscal a bit closer every time they squabble about with positions, so it'll be interesting. Daymar's pits now. It's not a surprise after that incident. Luke moves up into P11. Vantage in P10. Vantage downwards has all pitted. Top 9 have yet to pit. Carl, the only one running on the medium tyre from the start now. The rest are all on the softs. Oh, we've had an off. Day Miles is out of the race. Oh, are we going to see a move by Troll? We're not. Oh, did Kieran Kieran's lost a little bit of time, but it might be Troll gaining time. It's another VSC for Daymar's stricken car on the left-hand side there. Obviously got the exit of the turn all wrong. It is a tricky one. If you don't get the exit right, the car just doesn't agree with it, and it wants to whack you straight into a barrier. So lap 9, Lion Games has actually pitted on VSC. It might be a smart play from Lion Games. Could help him out in the long run. Oh, and Troll has got past Disco Stu. I think they must have both been quite down on their deltas, and Troll was able to pretty much get himself alongside Disco Stu, and Disco Stu had to back out. He was about to go into the back of Big Baguette, who had to brake for the turn, and probably because of his delta, we're seeing someone else offline Games, who I was just saying made a smart play of pitting under the VSC, has spun, doesn't have any visible damage, so hopefully he can get these tyres back up and running. Managed to get around the banking. That's the main bit. Banking can be hard on cold tyres. Yeah, he's managed to get through that bit, so we'll leave Lion Games to it now. Top 4 are still separated by under a second. Fiscal's managed to get back within a second. We're not going to see Disco Stu make a move, so it's going to stay as it is. Oh, Disco Stu turns in a bit early. Dips his inside tyres onto the dirt, and that's lost him a bit of time and pushed him further back towards Kieran. Wonder if any of these lot will be thinking about maybe making the undercut, but then obviously they're one stopping, so they've got to try and take the tyres as long as they can, so be interesting to see who's first to blink. Obviously they're all different teams, so you don't have to worry about if their teammate is pitting. You see Alex coming, we see Troll coming, Stu stays out, and so does Kieran. And Bigby gets picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That could be vital towards the end. Worried Cloud stays out because Big Baguette has pitted, so he didn't want to double stack. So Stu and Fiscal here will be hoping for big in-laps. Oh, Kieran gets a bit dirty, yeah, drags him wide, but he's okay. Doesn't affect him too bad. Big Baguette's come out just behind Vachensky, and Charleston managed to get out just ahead of Reflection. Lion Games is making a move for P9 against AMR Vantage. Vantage going to have the better drive out of the corner. He's on the medium tyres. And he manages to keep the position. Big Baguette hunting down Vachensky. Let's check the top 2. Yep, Stu is coming in. Kieran staying out again. Worry Cloud also staying out. Vachensky staying out, and he's going to come under a bit of pressure from Big Baguette, fresh tyres. Vachensky is going to be smart and not fight this one, or is he? No, didn't really fight it. Stu's come out about a second and a half behind Troll, so lost a little bit of time, but not too much at all. So he'll be pretty pleased with how that went. Reflection has pitted. He's going to kite in nice clean air in P7. He'll be looking for his teammate of Vachensky and possibly even Worry Cloud when those guys pit. Troll is looking to follow Big Baguette through and past Vachensky, who's losing his back end, and that has actually slowed Troll way down there. And he's going to make a move around the outside. They nearly come together, but give each other enough room. Kieran stays out again, so does Cloud. Okay. They're looking to go long. What will Vachensky do here? He stays out, and he's going to have Disco Stu for company, who's going to be going up the inside. That's a lovely executed move by Disco Stu, and that means he's going to be keeping up and staying with Chawson. So that was a vital move, Disco Stu. So waiting on top two to pit. Reflection as well, who I can see now probably coming out behind his teammate. It's getting tight at the back, by the way. MR Vantage and Lion Games and Luke all together here, and I don't think that's Kyle's car. Well, it is Kyle's car, but it's not Kyle Racing, I believe. So hopefully they can all get round that car without any issues. Kieran comes in. Ian also comes in. So Big Baguette will regain the lead of the race. Vachensky stays out though. Where are they going to come out? So Fishko hasn't lost too much time. 2.5 seconds behind Stu. And he's managed to kite on mediums, the faster tyre. And Worry Cloud has actually gone onto the hards, so he hasn't copied Kieran's strat there. These guys still tussling away, trying to get past Carl's car. I don't know if it's Carl in the car, but he's not. I don't believe he's normally down this end of the field. He's normally further up. Oh, and there's a bit of a coming together between Vantage. Bit of front wing there. And that's Lion's front wing. That'll be frustrating for him. He's now gone into AI. Don't know why Lion just went into AI. But they're all struggling to get round Carl's car. And that's going to be frustrating. Vachensky finally pits. And he goes on to the mediums. Okay. So copying Kieran's strat. Oh, there has been a coming together of some sorts. Vantage has gone round. And Lion's going to have to come in because of that damage. It's a real shame there for Lion. Hopefully though, put on some mediums. And then go again. Oh, he's gone for softs. Interesting. That's not going to make it to the end. But he's gone for the softs. Fair play to him. So, top four, not as close as they were before they all started pitting. Vantage gonna make a move on Luke here. Luke's not in the car now. I don't know who's in their car and who's not in their car right now. We are at the halfway point of this race, and it's just going to be interesting to see how this plays out. The gaps are there, there's gaps. No one inside the top 10, actually anywhere on the grid at the moment, is within a second of each other. But there's a few different strats going on. You've got the hard runners of Big Baguette, Chawson, Stu, Cloud and Reflection. Then you've got the two medium runners of Fiscal and Vicensky, which you would like to see them making ground. But no, I'm watching Fiscal's gap and it's not doing much. It's just sitting at about 5.5 seconds, and you'd expect that to be coming down. Vantage, I think, finally gets past that Williams of Kyle, so he'll be pleased about that. So a lap on now, and if anything, Let's Get Fiscal has lost time. He's up to pretty much 6 seconds now. Unless, but Disco Stu's not making any gains on Troll really. So it's an interesting one. And right now, Kieran's got to be worried about that gap behind him to worry Cloud, because that is coming down rapidly here. And I'm really struggling to know why. Like, he's dropping pace rapidly here. I'm really confused. So now Cloud is within 1 second. Oh, who's that? It's Lions. So Lions had an off. Hasn't got wing damage. And that's the safety car. And that to me looked like a deliberate DNF, which here at BPRL we don't like to see, and it will be received with a penalty. You're not allowed to deliberately crash yourself out. You're meant to return to the pits and retire in the pits. So you not wanting to carry on or DNFing, whatever, that doesn't have an effect on the rest of the race. So now this is interesting. Big Baguette and Charleston have stayed out. Stu has pitted. He'll be going on to mediums. Kieran's pitting off of his mediums. Cloud has stayed out. What's Kieran going on to? Kieran's just putting on a fresh set of mediums. So he'll just be better off. He won't have to nurse those tyres as much. Vachensky stayed out on 5-lap old mediums. Reflection's going to come in and pretty much put mediums on. Billy's gone to softs, which, yeah, fair enough. After the safety car goes in, there'll only be 12 laps, so he can make that. Carl and Luke have both gone on to mediums as well. And oh dear, what's happened here? Luke seems like he's got himself stuck with everyone else, but he's going through. Hopefully we'll see shortly, I think, if he gets a penalty. If he hasn't got a penalty, then that's great. And he's able to race in his correct position and not being a lap down. Vachensky has now decided to pit. Warrior Cloud's got a 5-second penalty for a collision with Stu. And Stu, as you can see there, is missing part of his front wing. So something's happened there under the safety car. I think we will be getting another lap of the safety car because Luke has only just got into sector 3. So Stu would be able to pit still without losing much time. Obviously he'll lose his position. And he will drop down to 8th place right now. Where's Kyle? I think Kyle is mixed in here with everyone else. He is, so Kyle is in there. Just in front of Worry Cloud. Let's go on board with Disco Stu to see what he's going to do. Is he just going to try and carry... Surely he's not going to try and carry on. I mean, yes, it's going to be... Yeah, he's going in. And he's got a 5-second penalty spin in pit lane. He's serving a penalty now. Is he putting softs on? No, he's putting mediums on. Damn, I thought Stu might have gone for softs. Could have been a good option to go on to softs there. Luke is coming back into the pits. Not sure why. He's just sped up. He got a 5-second penalty. He's putting softs on. So Disco Stew's actually in 8th place because he served a penalty, I think. Safety car is in this lap, so Luke doesn't have long to get round. He's on the soft tyre. Might have been a very good play, but if he's not going to catch onto the back, which he's going to struggle to, he's not going to catch onto the back. So he's going to have to make up a bit of time. Going to be at least about 10 seconds worth of time to catch up on. Big Baguette is not going yet. He's making this a very slow go, and he's gone. Cloud is going to look to get past. Kyle will move over because he's getting blue flagged. Disco Stew's already made a move on Billy, and he's come across Billy. And Billy has spun out. Luke's not too far off the back. He's only just over a second off the back. Oh, and what's happened there? Was that only on my screen? Oh no, I think Stu's lost another end plate. And things have got bad to worse. I think Vantage had to... He sort of slowed down because he didn't know what Carl was doing. And Carl was actually just trying to get out of the way. Obviously not Carl, I think it's just the AI. So now it's Troll and Big Baguette with 11 laps to go. Going to be fighting for the rest of this race. Cloud is on old hards. And it's Kieran who's on fresh mediums hunting him down. Stu is back into the pits. Very, very unfortunate for him. Is he going back on mediums? Please say it's not mediums. Stu. He's gone back onto mediums again. Could have gone hards. No, not hard, softs. Damn. Vachenski's right up behind Kieran now, actually. Some proper midfield battles going on now. So here comes Kieran. Not close enough to make a move on Cloud. Wide Billy is now coming to the pits. I'm guessing that's from the collision with Disco Stew. It looks like they might be coming out together here. The Mercedes. And they are. So the two cars that came together are now back together. But that wasn't the collision that caused Disco Stew his damage. It was only Wide Billy that got damage in that one. These two will be doing their best to try and catch up. It's a big ask for them to get anywhere near Luke now in 8th place. But Fishkall is much closer to Cloud Still not close enough though. Oh, and Vicensky's round. I think Vicensky clipped the back of Kieran, and that has sent him round, and he has dropped down to 8th place. That is going to be one frustrated Finnish driver. Did he get any visible damage? No, so he should be okay to continue for the remainder of the Grand Prix. So we have Troll trying to chase down Big Baguette. We have Fiscal trying to chase down Cloud. We have Vantage trying to chase down Reflection. And Vicensky will be trying to chase down Luke. And Disco Stu is also trying to chase down Wide Load Billy. Charleston's very close to Big Baguette. Oh, and who's that? Oh, it's Stu. He's had an off. Give me a different view. Can I get a different view? These are lovely views, don't get me wrong. Stu hasn't got any visible damage, so he carries on. Vantage trying to get round Reflection at the moment. Everyone's so close together. There's just two driver battles all down the field at the moment. The fight for the lead carries on. Troll's not able to get close enough to Big Baguette at the moment. Still not going to be able to. Fiscal's the closest he's ever been so far to Cloud. He's going to have to go around the outside into turn 1. And I think he's got it done. He has. He's ahead of the Haas. Vantage can't get ahead of Reflection so far. Vicensky is gaining on Luke. So with patience, he might be able to get a move done. But that's Fiscal through on Cloud. Vantage piling the pressure on Reflection now. And Cloud has already dropped off from Fiscal. Fiscal hasn't really been gaining on Troll. It's just Cloud that has dropped off the pace slightly. So 5 laps to go. And Troll isn't making gains on Big Baguette. He hasn't had a sniff at a chance of an overtake. So just got to keep plugging away. Vicensky though, after spinning out, is putting the pressure on Luke. Oh, and Luke spun it. Luke grabbed too much of that inside curb. And that has spun him out of P7. He's now way back from Vicensky. And he's in his own world now in P8. Vantage still plugging away at reflection. And you see in the bottom right, he's oh, it's just gone off actually. No, there it is. The yellow icon saying that his fuel is starting to get low. So Vantage will have to be managing his fuel in the last phases of this race. Oh, and he's gone a bit wide there, pushing it a bit too much. I've noticed Troll did get the gap down, but I think he's had a poor entry and exit there. So he lost 2/10, and he's lost another 10th, and he's just picked up a penalty. Oh, and remember, Big Baguette's got a 5-second penalty. So if Troll's only got his 3-second penalty, he just needs to stay within 2 seconds of Big Baguette, and he will win this race. Let's go back to Vantage, trying to gain on reflection. Not going to happen. I've seen Disco Stew's gone from 10 seconds to 9 seconds, well, just under 9 seconds now, so he's trying to put in the work to catch up to his teammate. I think he will run out of time though to be able to make any moves. Vantage taking this windy section in sector 2 much better than the previous lap. Charleston is about a 10th or 2 closer, but it's not going to be close enough. He needs to be literally a couple of tenths off Big Baguette, otherwise it's not going to happen. Big Baguette is holding on to his ERS as much as he can. He's got about 40%, whereas Troll is sitting on about 15-20%. So Troll using it much more than Big Baguette is. Wide-eyed Billy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, Vantage is very close to reflection here. Oh, Vantage going a bit too far to the right there. There is a lot of track, so don't think you need to be using the dirt runoff to the right. And look, Vachensky's actually just over a second behind these two now. So Vantage got to be careful. Lost too low. Oh, Vachensky takes too much curb and he's lost 3/10 there, about 2-3 Vachensky could have a chance at P6 or even P5 here, so he's still plugging away. That would be a great recovery from the spin out he had just several laps ago. Charleston still plugging away. Big Baguette still has a decent amount of ERS. But like I said, if Big Baguette does have that 5-second penalty, and Charleston only has his 3-second penalty, he just needs to stay within 2 seconds. He's closer, he is closer. Not going to be able to make a move. We'll go back to Vantage. Can he make a move? He's looking for it. He's really looking for it. Looking at the outside. Doesn't get the chance. Vicensky's waiting in the wings here since there's a three-way battle on the last lap. To McLaren, it's a McLaren sandwich for the Racing Point. Chawson in the Red Bull, hanging in with Big Baguette. If he's only got a 3-second penalty, he will win this race if he stays within 2 seconds of Big Baguette. We're going to find out very shortly as they come up to the penultimate turn around the banking. Big Baguette crosses the line on track first, but Chawson wins it from the penalties. Chawson P1, Big Baguette P2, Fiscal will take P3, Worried Cloud will take P4. Reflection is just about going to hold off Vantage, and he actually moves up to P4, and Vicensky moves up to P5, Cloud down to 6th, Vantage down to 7th. Luke will come home for 8th. That's a decent debut there from Luke. A couple of mistakes which he'll try to get rid of. Widelow Billy finishes 9th. Disco Stu will round off the top 10. And Carl, I don't think, was racing at all that race. What's the game given driver of the day? AMR Vantage. He did come from the back of the field. Congratulations to Trull. First win of the season. Big Baguette definitely improves in the title standings with that P2. Let's get Fiscal. That will do him good for his title chances. Who got the fastest lap? Was it Big Baguette? Stu 11.5. Mystic apparently 8.3. So Stu gets the fastest lap, 11.5. Reflection came home 4th. Vicensky, great recovery drive after that spin. P5 for him. Worry Cloud 6th. Vantage 7th, 15th to 7th. That's a very good result. Luke finishing in 8th. Widelow Billy 9th, and a race that Disco Stu would have preferred for higher points, but it just didn't go his way. Two wings were damaged, and that was his race run. Carl never was really racing. Lion Games DNF'd, so did Daymars, Sir Hamrick, Mystic, and Elian Bayern. So that was Zandvoort. I hope anyone who watched enjoyed. We dipped into the red division this week. Just thought, you know what? Let's have a look at the action. We haven't shown any on this channel yet. We did have Bahrain streamed by Broomhandle, but apart from that, that's all we've had. So I hope people have enjoyed. And yeah, we shall see you next week, which will be what is the calendar? Spain next week. So that is where we've done our qualifying night for everyone to get into their tiers. And Spain is where we'll be racing next week. So we'll see you next week, the 1st of October. Have a good evening all.